everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Vivi Price, and as you can see by the title, we are talking about all the things that they have not taught us. They have not taught us these things in school that would make us better as adults. I think this is gonna be a good one. I really am passionate. I'm really passionate about this kind of stuff because there are so many things as I age that I'm like, dang, what was going on with the school system? What was going on, child? What was going on? Why did we not know this? So I'm gonna share those tips with you today. Stay tuned. Things that didn't teach us. Being teachable and realizing that learning does not stop after you graduate high school or college. I mean, this is such a big one for me because I feel like, as I said in a couple videos ago, my I'm back video. So if you haven't seen it, comment, like, and subscribe. Definitely go check it out. But as I said in that video, I have learned so much in my journey as becoming a software engineer now, which is completely informal learning and alternative, and I'm self-taught. So I've learned so much now in this journey that I pretty much learned ever in school. Like, there is no amount of formal learning that could have taught me anything that I'm learning now when it comes down to becoming a software engineer. I just feel like they don't explain that. As you're growing up and you see other people around you, especially in college, you start to think, well, everybody else seems like they have it all together. Everybody else is in college, right? So they are going after their career, so they must be knowing what they're going to be doing. But the reality is, just because you graduate, just because you have a degree, and even if you don't have a degree, it doesn't change the merit of knowledge, in my opinion. And I also feel like it doesn't stop the learning. You have to learn new things. Nobody teaches you how to move across country, but you learn. Nobody teaches you how to become just a developer if you want to do it on your own, but you learn. Nobody teaches you certain things about, how to maybe clean or how to orient yourself in different spaces, or even like food utensils. Nobody teaches you how to use those exactly precisely how you should do it right every single time. Nobody teaches you those things, but you have to be teachable. You have to keep learning. You have to keep growing as you age because it doesn't stop. It doesn't. I'm sorry. You're going to be a forever learner if you want to be whatever you want to be, regardless if that's a career base or if that's self-development based. You're going to have to learn how to get to a place that you want to be at. Piggybacking on that now, staying curious. I feel like the reason why learning becomes one of those things that people stop doing after they graduate high school or college, like, oh, I'm never going back to school, I'm never learning something new in that same way, is because once you know something, or once you have something that puts you in a place where you can work or make money off of it, it's like, okay, well, I'm doing this thing every single day, and you get into a routine of just doing that thing, and your scope of your understanding or the things that you feel like you know about yourself are kind of minimal now. Now they're real small. You have to stay curious, ask questions, be inquisitive. Like, if you're around kids are always asking why. If you're around a toddler, a kid who can talk, I mean, why? Always inquisitive because, well, they don't know. Just because you get to a certain age, that doesn't mean that you know everything. Nobody knows everything. So stay curious. Keep being curious. Curiosity didn't kill a cat when you're an adult. I'm telling you. The next thing they didn't teach us is financial literacy. I can talk about finances, financial literacy, till I'm blue in the face. Listen, I am not a financial advisor. I do not know anything in regards to this space as much as other people do, like the Graham Steffens and the Patricia Brights of the world. Do not get it twisted. But the things that I've learned from those two people, just those two people alone on YouTube, has been crazy. I did not know so many things. I didn't know about high interest savings account. I didn't know about index funds. I didn't know how to invest. I didn't even know you needed a broker's account to invest. Like, I didn't know any of these things. And I also didn't know, like, that budgeting itself, like being on a budget, is not that you're broke, it's that you're managing your money. That's what managing your money is knowing where your money is going. I didn't know any of these things. I did not know any of these things. And I think financial literacy is one of those things as an adult that you have to be aware of. Money is the vehicle that you're using to live in your day-to-day life. So if you don't know how to use the tool to get you in the vehicle, to make the vehicle go where you want it to go, what are you doing? You're just gonna be stuck on the side of the road, child, asking for a ride, hitchhiking. No, you need to know money is that vehicle. So I feel like financial literacy is so important. I took one economics class in my senior year of high school because it was required. And even in the economics class, even though the teacher was really good, even in the economics class, it didn't give you what you needed to know as you age, when you become an adult, when you're supposed to manage your money. What does that look like? My little brother is 15, and he took a career in financial management class last year, his freshman year of high school. And in that class, the things that they are teaching these kids, I'm like, yeah, this is what they need to be teaching you guys. Because if you don't teach it to them, how are they going to know what to do? Luckily, he has me. But even still, I mean, the class was so in depth and he actually liked it. And he was very interested in it because it really opened up his eyes to, oh, this is how much money you have to make to be living this kind of life. Or this is how you have to manage your money to get certain places. Like, financial literacy is, I could talk about that till I'm blue in the face. Literally, you need to know it. I'll tag some resources down in the description box below because there are so many things that we need to know about money that they just make it so taboo because they just don't want us to know, and it's insane. Like, no, financial literacy, that's that girl. Like, you need to know you need to have financial literacy. You just need to. Piggybacking on financial literacy, credit and taxes. Where was the credit and taxes class? Where was that class at? I paid $30,000 out of pocket for my degree, and I did not leave knowing anything about credit or taxes. Neither of them. And mind you, what I know about credit now is enough to keep my credit score at a pristine number, if you ask me personally. But taxes, I'm still like, oh, I gotta learn more about taxes because I don't know. Every single thing about taxes makes my brain hurt. Like, they don't teach you those things. So those are two things that I also think are things that we should learn more about because, again, being an adult, that's important. Adulthood is hard because you don't have the resources to know what to do. You don't have the information to know what to do. That's what makes adulthood hard. But once you have the tools and you figure out how to use them, it gets a little bit easier. So credit and taxes are one of those things where, like, dang, both of those things are two of those things that, like, dang, I should have known more about this before I was considered an adult. Another thing that they do not teach you is that discipline is learned. Let me tell you something. You don't wake up and become disciplined. I feel like there's a lot of conversations around consistency and doing something even when you don't want to do it, and just being consistent and doing it over and over again and having that be your baseline of existence. But the reality of it is that level of doing something over and over again even when you don't want to do it is discipline. When you're unmotivated and you're still doing it, that's discipline, and that's learned. It is not something that you could just become or just do out of the blue. Discipline is learned, and the way that you learn how to be disciplined, in my opinion, is figuring out how to do those things unmotivated and doing them at a level where you're giving it as much as you can. You're not going to be motivated all the time. I am not motivated all the time, especially when it comes down to going to the gym. I am not motivated. Some days I wake up, I'm like, I am tired. I had to drag my butt out of the bed to put on these clothes to go to the gym. But that's, for me, I'm trying to teach myself that this is the discipline that I need to acquire what I'm looking for in the gym, right? Discipline is learned. You don't become disciplined, you learn discipline. And you have to keep trying to get better at discipline with consistency. That's my opinion. Whew. The next one, holding yourself accountable and accountability. They go hand in hand. Holding yourself accountable is one thing, and then accountability, holding other people accountable, is a whole different thing. And I do think that word, and for a lot of people, have many different definitions, but I feel like I'm gonna put the definition on the screen just in case, because, listen, I don't know everything, so here I am putting the definition here. But accountability is important. Holding yourself accountable, being a person of your word, saying you're gonna do something and doing it. And then when somebody else is around you, or a friend or a partner, and they do something that they say that they're gonna do something, but they don't do it, and you guys may have a little bit of friction there, holding them accountable to their word. Like, you said you were gonna do this thing, why didn't you do it? Or having that conversation is very important. I think accountability is one of those things that I feel like can be a little bit lonely, especially when you figure out who you are and who you really want to be in this life. Because when you are holding other people accountable around you, you start to lose them because they don't want to be told that they didn't do the thing that they said they didn't want to do. And you don't want to be considered the person that you're everybody's mom, or you're the strong friend, so you got to be telling people about themselves. Like, no, hold yourself accountable. If you held yourself accountable, I wouldn't even have to hold you accountable. How about that? If you did the things that you say you were going to do, I wouldn't have to come to you to tell you, hey, you didn't say the things that you were going to do. Very important. Communication. Knowing how to communicate effectively with other people without triggering them. People have their triggers, and you are not going to be a mind reader, and you're not going to know everybody's triggers. But knowing how to come to somebody with a conversation with genuine, like, loving kindness and understanding. That's my dad. One of my dad's lessons is killing things with loving kindness. And I didn't even understand that lesson until I got older. But we'll get into that in a second. Coming to them with loving kindness and understanding. So when you are talking to them, it is very important. Communication, how you communicate, understanding other people's communication styles, and understanding how to not trigger other people. That is very important. My sister and I, Stephanie, we have a very good communication style at this point in our relationship. And the reason why is because we are very clear on our triggers. She doesn't like when I act like I'm a know-it-all because I am the oldest, so sometimes I be coming off like that. And I don't like when she be acting brazy on the phone. Like, just chill out. Like, let's just chit chat. You don't have to get super hyper, right? I don't like when she gets a little bit hyper on the phone. So when we communicate with each other, we respect those boundaries. So when we talk, it doesn't feel like it's pulling teeth all the time. You get what I'm saying? Like, communicating with that person and understanding your triggers and understanding your boundaries and respecting them. That all of those things can be 5 different tips, but I do think they all fall underneath that umbrella for me right now because it just makes sense. You get what I mean? You get what I mean. This one? Ooh. How to be an active participant in your life or your future life, I guess, or the future that you want to have. That one is something else. And the reason why I say that is because, again, you go through life, you go to high school, you go to college, you graduate, you get in a career, even if you like it or not, but you may or may not get in a career, and then you just start to do maybe a routine that you're used to. Are you being an active participant on the things that you want to do though? For example, I wanted to create content. I wanted to create content since 2019. I had a Canon 80D, I had Premiere Pro, I had every toolkit in that I really could need to actually start, right? And I didn't start. And I wasn't being an active participant because I was like, oh, well, I have to do these things. I'm still in college. Nobody wants to see this stuff, da-da-da-da. And it took 3 years for me to come to and be like, no, I actually do want to do this thing because I don't want to regret not doing it. And being active in what I say I want. Being an active participant in your life or your future is so important because life can happen to you or for you. And I feel like a lot of people feel like life is happening to them. I'm in the seat where I feel like I'm in the driver's seat right now. I'm in the place where I feel like life is happening for me. Everything that is going to happen is happening for my benefit. I'm not going to claim any of that nonsense like, oh, well, it's happening to me. I can't believe it's happening. Like, what are you actively doing? And then how do you play that role and play your role very well so you can live a life in service to your future self? Are you living a life in service to your future self? Are you actually going after those dreams and those aspirations? I heard a quote, I think a couple of weeks or months ago, I don't know the time frame, but I heard a quote once that said, the majority of dreams are in the graveyard. Something along the lines of that. I'm paraphrasing, obviously. But dreams are in the graveyard. People die full of their potential, their desires, their dreams. And for what? For what? It's like, live a life in service to your future self by being an active participant. Be an active participant. Go after it. Actively do it. What are your actions? Pay attention to those things and do them. Do them. I mean it. For real.
Stay focused. Don't talk about what you're going to do. Don't just dream about what you're going to do. Don't criticize somebody else for what they're not doing. You be it. Be about it. Be about that action and go do it. Keep your eye on your intention. Don't let any outside distraction or your own insecurity stop you from your goals. Embrace that struggle. Surviving that struggle will strengthen you.
How to make good decisions. How to make good decisions is one, if you guys haven't seen it at this point, you guys would have already seen this video, but the indecision video. Knowing how to make good decisions is so important. Good decisions are things that protect you when you're an adult. Knowing what to do, figuring out what you're doing is one thing, right? Researching, learning, knowing new things, and then making a decision that you feel completely comfortable with because you've done more than enough research and understanding with yourself and clarity with yourself where you're like, okay, I'm gonna make this decision and I'm completely okay with it. That is important. Importante. It is important. It is very important. It's imperative because it's your safety net. It's the thing, like I said, that protects you when you're an adult. So making good decisions or how to make good decisions is something that they did not teach us, and they should have. They failed us, didn't they? They failed us.